Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Geri Puleo, the President and CEO of Change Management Solutions and the creator of the Burnout During Organizational Change model, or BDOC. Now today what I want to talk to you about is something that is often overlooked in the burnout phenomenon, and that is something that I discovered in my research called residual burnout. Now, the best way to understand residual burnout is that it occurs during your attempts to recover or get out of a burnout experience. And it's a boomerang effect. In other words, something happens within your workplace, because I normally deal with workplace-related burnout. Something happens in your workplace that triggers all those memories of what it was like when you were burning out and when you were in a full-blown burnout. And you go back into that. So you kind of are going down into burnout, and then you start recovering, you start coming up, and then something happens, and bam, you go back down into it again. Now, residual burnout is pretty much of a challenge in the burnout recovery process. Now, based on my research, I found that it takes about 2 years to recover from burnout. Now, recovery is defined in the workplace as having a revised psychological contract with work. And what that means, speaking in layman's language rather than in academia, is that you have a new way of looking at, I will give you, employer, this, but in exchange, I expect you to give me that. It's kind of a tit for tat or quid pro quo. But that revised psychological contract in burnout really is very powerful because it's much easier to decide what is important to you and what you will do and what you won't do. And you are better able to set the boundaries. Now, as I said, it takes about 2 years to get to that stage after a full-blown burnout. But you have to be on guard because things can happen in the workplace, whether you're with the same employer in which you, or company in which you burned out, or if you've moved on to another employer. Something happens and it triggers you back into the frustration, anger, apathy that precede burnout or a full-blown burnout. So like I said, it's like a boomerang. You move forward, 2 steps forward, maybe 1 step back. Maybe 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. But residual burnout is definitely a challenge to your recovery. To overcome it, you need to be very observant in terms of what's going on around you. You need to understand fully what your burnout triggers are, and you have to decide what you will tolerate and what you won't tolerate. In other words, you set better boundaries. So, residual burnout is definitely something to watch out for, and I wish you a great deal of luck in your recovery, and I'm sure that you can recover. Just watch out for that residual burnout.